Welcome back to AP Lazer Live. Whether you're joining us for the first time today or you're a regular family member that's been joining us, or you're just on the fence and haven't decided yet, we welcome you. Sorry, the countdown caught me off guard. I was running late in hair and makeup. They couldn't get my hair quite right, so I'm just getting my bearings here. But anyways, today we do have a special guest, Gino Hernandez. We have it's kind of I say it's today's show is gonna be much about what I'm gonna call the AP Lazer one team, one family dream kind of thing, right? It's where whether you're a mainstream business or you're just somebody looking to do a side hustle, we have something for everybody, and often the side hustles turn into more than what you thought it would be, which is a good thing. But anyway, sorry. So we have special guests today with us, Gino. Special guest Gino. He's making waves with his AP Lazer. He just recently got it. Sorry. I'm joined as usual by our guest, Alicia. Our co-host, Alicia. Look at me. I'm all out of sorts. It's my fault. I'm not prepared. So how's everybody doing today?
It's been a minute. You're good. We're all sort of in that summer vacation mode as things wind down and get back into, the regular swing of things. I know I just had a nice little vacation away, but most of that was moving, so that was fun. But yeah, I'm excited today. We're, like Aaron said, Gino Hernandez is joining us. How's it going, Gino?
Oh, it's going great. It's going great. It's an awesome day to be alive and to be part of the AP Lazer
Aw, see, we love that. I know that, yeah, so as Aaron said, you recently got your laser, and I know I've been told you're even looking to add onto your, add another one to your business. But how did you hear about us? How did you get started on that journey?
So this started back in May of 2023. I was working late at night, writing reports. It was about 2 o'clock in the morning. My brother-in-law had recently passed away, and we had him cremated, and we had an urn that we needed to engrave. And we couldn't find anyone to do the job. So one early morning, about 2 o'clock in the morning, I started Googling laser engravers, and I came across AP Lazer. And it caught my eye and got my attention. And I saw that there was a LaserCon coming up. So I convinced my wife. My wife loves to go to Vegas, so I convinced her, let's go to Vegas to LaserCon. And so we did. We went to LaserCon, and
that was a fun LaserCon.
We were excited when we got there. It was. But prior to going there, we actually had a demo. Putting out a shout out to Carlos Maldonado, who did his finished out of Dilley, Texas. He is also a part of the AP Lazer family. He did a demo for us before going to LaserCon, and that fired us up. But when we got to LaserCon, that's when we really got fired up when we saw it. We saw all the different lasers there, and it was truly something that we needed to do.
Yeah, I know LaserCon is always such a fun time, and getting to see, personally, even here, I'm usually out here in the studio working with this beast of a machine, so it's nice to see like all of them in one place and just seeing like the different range of things, because there's different projects you can do on the different machines. Like the 1812 is really good for those super high definition photos. But obviously you've got a limited bed size. But if you switch over to the, this big boy or 4836, you're able to do pretty much anything you can imagine. But, you have the 2616, right? Yeah,
that is correct.
And that's, a lot of people go with that when they're starting out, just because it's pretty much a good all-arounder. That's what we kind of designed it for. But yeah.
Well, what I love most about LaserCon, Vegas was a great LaserCon, but all the other ones were also really good, was that it's not just learning about the machines and seeing our support team, it's meeting the family. You meet all the other AP Lazer owners and users, and you get to where you realize that you're not in this alone, and everybody's kind of working as a community to help each other. And then it's putting faces and names.
Exactly.
That was very nice.
Yeah. And I know, speaking of,
Yes.
keeping it in the family and all that, I know that I've heard that you work a lot with your son too, so it's kind of like a family business. How's that kind of dynamic work for you?
No, hold on. No, when I heard
So-
heard that your son helped you with this, okay, my question is it as easy as he made it sound when he explained it to you?
Yeah, well, my son, he's a pretty sharp young man. He knows how to work his way around the software. That was a challenging part for me. But having him, and it's truly a family business. Everyone in the family plays a part in it. It's including our granddaughter, the 7-year-old granddaughter and our 13-year-old granddaughter. They play parts in this business. But yeah, it helps balance, because we have full-time jobs. We all have full-time
Right.
jobs. But between all of us, we're making it work. We're making it happen. And it's been a true blessing that my son really embraced this, and he's really enjoying it and creating the artwork that we're able to produce.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean,
Yes.
I always love to hear, like, my dad is super into, all things digital fabrication, but he's the one that got me interested in lasers originally. So that's why I ended up, in college, I was lucky enough to work with those things. And so now we kind of work together on different things, which is tons of fun. It's always nice to have that support, that direct support with your family, and also something fun to do, together. And especially when you can make money off of that, that's even better. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's like I said, it's truly a family business. My granddaughter, my 13-year-old granddaughter, had her tumbler at school, and the teacher saw it and asked her where she got it, and she pulled out her business card and said, "Hey, my parents have a laser business, and here it is." My 7-year-old's always promoting the business. He's our social influencer. So it's been a blessing. It really has
Yeah.
been.
Well, kind of speaking of, like you said, even small tumblers are really easy to work on, but like, what are some of your favorite projects that you were able to create so far?
So my favorite projects have been the big cutting boards,
Mm-hmm.
bringing those to life. Those were big. A friend of mine, he actually made these boards. He would make them, and his wife had a Cricut cutter, and they would put vinyl on
Oh,
them.
wow.
So one day one day we were talking. It was right around the Christmas time, and I told him, "Hey, I've got this laser engraver," and actually, we had our laser a couple of months before we actually opened it and started working with it, because it was a little
Oh, yeah.
intimidating. And it wasn't until one of my sons is the one that actually says, "Dad, you need to open it. You need to start working on it," and we did. But that was probably one of our favorite projects, is doing these cutting boards, these charcuterie boards. Those have been wonderful. Good money makers. People always want them personalized. And those have been by far the favorites to do.
Yeah, and I know, like, even with, you might think that's such a small thing, but, if you make something personal to someone, you've got that emotional connection to it. It's something they're going to cherish, and they're going to have, they're going to be able to look back on it. They're not going to think of, oh, how much did this cost? They're going to think, wow, this is something really precious that I get to keep forever.
Cool. Correct. Yeah, and I just think of it. I think of it this way. I look at it and say, "Would I like this? Why do I like this?" And that, just like you mentioned, personalizing it. It's yours forever. It's unique to you, and it looks
It's
awesome.
really making those priceless memories. Really, it's hard to put a value on some of that stuff. I know we get into cutting boards and some other things, and I know your son helped you a lot. And I'm sure I know you guys collaborated a lot. But I know when we get the lasers, we don't know everything coming out of the box. What did you guys work with our support team at all? Did you call the AP Lazer support line? How did it go with implementing it from the beginning? I mean, I know your son helped you understand a lot, but
So yeah, so we did. We initially did our training that comes with the laser, and we did that. And I got a little bit of understanding, but I'm a more of a hands-on kind of
Mm-hmm.
learner. So it was a little difficult to understand it. The, and I shouldn't say difficult. It was intimidating. It's what it was. It was more intimidating than
I hear that a
difficult.
lot.
It's like everything that's new. It's new and it's intimidating. So I was kind of shying away from it. I like so then my son looked at it. He goes, "Dad, this is so easy." And he started looking at it, and like I said, he knows how to work around technology, and he was able to explain it a lot easier for me. And I guess having him uh, explain it dumbed down so I could understand it made it a whole lot easier and less intimidating.
Yes,
Yeah.
I,
But absolutely, I will say that the AP Laser tech support has been on point every time I've had a question. I've called, and within the hour, I've got a response. But something else that I've learned is being part of the family, and you
Yes.
become members of the user group. You ask the question, you have people there that are willing to help out. Always, there's always someone that's going to answer the question and share their experience, and it makes it a whole lot easier. Being part of this. Both my son and I have had this discussion and have said, if you've never owned a laser and you're going to buy a laser, you better buy an AP laser because they're going to help you get through it, get through the learning curve and learn it. If you buy it from somewhere else and you don't have the tech support, you don't have the family support, it's going to be
yeah,
difficult
that's one thing I
without a
love. I
doubt.
mean, we have our 24/7 support, AP Laser support. I don't. We used to call it tech support, but it's just support because whether you're having a technical problem or even just a design or question on how to do things, they're always there to help. But what I love most about kind of our family, we are one family, is that our tech support guys can help you with the ones and zeros, the balls and strikes, and how to do things with the machine. But the family, the community on the user group it's becoming it's its own community where these are people who are doing the everyday stuff, and they're not just how did you do this with the laser, but how do you convey this to the customer? How do you all the little nuances that you get from running the business, and that's what I really love about the user group is it's one thing to go to somebody and be told how to do something. It's another thing to hear it from somebody who does it every day. And
Yeah, and I mean, I know I still
Correct.
dip into the group and I learn new things all the time. And I jump in there and I try to help people with new things too. It's personally for me, like my job is kind of all over the place here. I dip into different fields and I get to do so much fun stuff. But when I get to take, my knowledge and, impart that onto new users and help them on their journey to success, that means more to me than anything. That's why I love, doing these lives, getting to talk with people, going to the shows and meeting with people, and also doing the tutorial videos, however I can help, I love it. So,
every
Oh
time you
yeah,
make a video,
and
you
those
learn.
tutorial videos
yes.
yes, yes, yeah. I love those videos. I learned a lot from
That's
them.
good,
Thank
good.
you for making those.
Gino, you mentioned that you'd received advice saying that if you get a laser, you better get an AP laser. But what's one piece of advice besides the obvious that you could give to someone looking to start out with an AP laser for their side hustle?
Um, Piece of advice I would give is that, like I mentioned before, it was an intimidating
hmm
task. When I was looking at lasers, obviously there was other lasers that I came across, but what really caught my attention with the AP laser was two things. One, the open architecture of the actual laser. Uh, we really, really like that idea. I work alongside a friend of mine that does cremation trays for funeral homes. So I felt like I have an in. I can go in and talk to some funeral homes, do some work for them. We've done a couple of urns
Oh,
already.
wow.
And so we like the idea of having the open architecture. But the second thing that really drew me to this was the tech support. So if I were to give anyone a piece of advice, it would be AP Laser will provide you with the support that you need to get going. If you get stuck doing a project and you can't figure it out, the user group is there, the support group is there, and you will conquer it. There's not been a situation that I've come across that I couldn't overcome because, again, the user group and the support was there to help out. So, piece of advice: buy an AP Laser. They're there to help you succeed. Tong, we had the pleasure of meeting Tong at LaserCon, and then of course I went to Okeechobee back in January
yeah.
and met with him there. You know, Chris Alexander, Toby May,
Buxton,
those gentlemen were awesome. And those guys, they really step up and help out when you have questions. So, advice: buy an AP Laser if you want to succeed. It makes it so much easier.
Yeah, and you mentioned the intimidation, and that is that's one of the things I hear the most. Is this is terrifying. A big laser, but this is like lasers and CO2s in general. I will say there's many different types of lasers, but CO2s are one of the safest, at least subtractive manufacturing machines that I have personally ever used. And I've used 5-axis CNC routers, and those are terrifying. I had a mini heart attack every time I had to run something on there.
So
I'm never really scared when I'm running one of these, which is very nice.
you talk about the most appealing designs, but also Gino mentioned the open architecture, and I hear a lot of discussion over what does that mean, and I know in my mind, well, it's obvious what it means, right? But a lot of people think, oh, well, some people said that you can use any software, or you can use, but really, you can use any design software with our machine. But the biggest thing is the open architecture is the patented open cabinet system. Okay, we have a removable Z-axis. If you can see behind me a little bit, that's this cabinet. This Z table rolls out and leaves the entire thing open, which allows you to roll under carts that have larger items on it, whether it be stones or monuments or caskets.
Even,
or VW bugs. We had a guy who did a VW bug one time, lifted the machine up and drove right underneath of it.
Giant glass doors behind there.
Yes. Much more practical. That door is actually one of my favorite things we can do. And especially for any of you who are into homes, or have you done any remodeling or done anything like that, or shop for doors, you know that they're not very, that they have a different value on them. But then when you personalize something like this, it just takes a $150, $200 door and just makes it worth much more than that if you're in that business to do that. So there's a lot of things that are done that the open architecture allows. This table right in front of us, this cart, if it's hard to see, they hang on, but that top, that really couldn't have been done with any other laser without doing a full disassembly. But we just rolled it under there, lowered the laser top down with a low rider feature that just takes the whole top down, and then was able to engrave it really easy. Well, I think Alicia did that. I shouldn't take any credit for her amazing work. So, but I'm glad you mentioned that, Gino. It's
well, and we've been talking about all the fun and exciting type of things that the machines can do, but at the end of the day, you're using these for your business. Some people use them for just hobbies and fun stuff like that, but at the end of the day, you're running a business, and there are challenges. You have to be realistic, and there are challenges that come with that. And I'm sure you've had some challenges of your own that you've had to overcome, Gino. But could you talk more on starting your business and how that kind of played out? I know you're still kind of in the side hustle phase, but I've heard things are going pretty good for you.
Hey,
they are. It's going so good that we're having to open a.
That's amazing.
Awesome.
Hopefully today we'll be signing a lease agreement on the storefront, and this will because we're running it out of our garage, and so it kind of limits. I really want to do some Cas Kits, but I'm limited, because of the space in the garage. So this will obviously open up we'll have an open space. Yeah. I'm gonna start working on that. I'm gonna purchase a casket and do a sample so I can show around to the different funeral homes.
That's amazing.
And of course, we really want to capture the memorial industry. Order some stones, start doing some stones, and just start sampling them out. It's a big industry without a doubt, and it's the baby boomers are passing more and more. As if you look at the statistics and the numbers, it's growing, and so I think it's a perfect opportunity. It's a golden opportunity to capitalize on the memorial market.
Yeah.
Question for you, Gino. Have you gotten to the point when you're walking around in places, you walk up and scratch something to see if it's lasered or a sticker?
I do.
I think
everything I look at.
Yeah, my boyfriend's probably getting sick of me every time we go to a farmer's market or a little craft show. I'm like, that was made on a laser.
Yes. Yeah, but then that's a plan as well. To go to going to some craft shows, some gut shows, and start. We recently bought some tables so we can take with us, so we can set up. So we're slowly growing it. Like I said, we all have full-time jobs, but it's so addicting. The laser's so addicting that it's kind of taken over my life.
That is
in
exciting.
A good way.
and I have a piece of advice that I want to give you as well as every other laser owner or operator out there. One thing to remember that is to maintain perspective. Okay, I've been doing this. I've been with the company for over 11 years now, and I've been doing this for a while. And that excitement you're feeling right now, that feeling that for those that are watching and listening, remember that excitement you had when you first had the machine, and understand that every time you talk to somebody new about the products you're offering, they're going to have that same excitement. Even if after 10 years you feel like, man, I've been doing this for so long, it's all kind of the same thing now. Just remember to keep that excitement, and that your customers, your people that you were doing the work for, they're going to have that excitement you had when you first realized this is a thing. A lot of the people we're reaching out to, a lot of them don't realize that lasering items is an option until you put it in front of them, and then their mind is blown. Just like yours was at LaserCon, or when you first heard about what this could do, the possibilities start just pouring out, and then you do something for your customer, and then they take it and they tell their family friends, look at this, I got this done on a laser. And then the next thing you know, people are starting to find you more because the word of mouth spreads. The lasers are very exciting, and bottle this excitement you have right now, and remember it in 5 years when you feel like it's just work. Just remember that it was exciting, it should still be exciting, and that everybody you work with will share that excitement with you. So
sure, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sure you've had some hiccups here or there too with running this, or maybe it's been all smooth for you. I don't know. Different people have their different journeys, but was there anything that where you hit a roadblock, and how were you able to get over that?
So yeah, there was a couple of roadblocks, and it had to do with software and designing. That was the difficult part, just trying to learn it. Like I mentioned, I went to Okeechobee in January, and I learned how to use Corel. I didn't use Corel. I kind of strictly relied on Lightburn, but I was introduced to Corel. My son does Adobe. He's really good with Adobe. We also use Inkscape. So we kind of learned the artwork. That was a challenge for us, specifically for me. So to overcome that, like I said, I do lean a lot on my son to teach me these things. He's really good with it. My daughter-in-law as well, and my 13-year-old granddaughter, she's also a designer. They have their designs on their iPad, and they design things for us, and then just to convert it, to vectorize it and put it in SVG or PNG, that was a struggle. But once I learned what SVG was and PNG was, it made things a lot easier. It made sense. And
I think that is something people need to remember is you're going to be so frustrated until it clicks. And then your whole world is going to change. I know I felt that way with photos. So frustrated. I just did not understand why they were not turning out the way they were supposed to, and then it clicked. And now it's like, oh, okay,
Correct.
I can
yes.
just whip that out really quick.
Yeah, it makes sense. You know, prior to this, I had no laser engraving
Right.
experience whatsoever. Zero. I had never been exposed to a laser engraver. The closest I was exposed to was when I purchased an item that had been laser engraved.
Right.
I had no idea the process. But yeah, once things start to make sense, it starts to click, and it makes it a whole lot easier. Yes.
So real quick, I'm sorry. Daniel Slattery asked in the chat, sorry I'm late. Did anyone talk training, software, and products? So that's a great question, Daniel. We did touch on each of those. So training is something you get with your laser. When you purchase your laser, you'll get training. You can also get additional training. We have advanced trainings. We have LaserCon sessions that are full trainings. So all that is things that are available. If you're looking for some additional training, then you can contact our support team and see what the options are and if there's anything coming up and what's available. I think Lindsay has something coming up towards the end of the month, I think, is a training session. Mm-hmm. As well, software and products. Software, obviously we have, it's a turnkey package really. When you when you purchase your AP Laser, you get everything you need to turn the key and start working. So you'll have software for design, you'll have your interface software, you'll have table, computer, everything you need to really start working to start running the laser almost right out of the box. But you're not limited to the design software we have. So, for example, Gino learned Corel and he understands Corel. His son likes Adobe and prefers Adobe. I have customers that use Grable, Inkscape, all different vector softwares. There's a lot of different design softwares. You can use any design software you want, and because as long as you save out the right file type, it will interface with our laser. So, and then products. You know what? Products. We're relaunching our AP Lazer web store very soon. We're switching over to a new hosting platform, and there's going to be a lot of new exciting products. Alicia's been working her laser off on a lot of our new products we're going to be showing on the store, and we have a wide variety of tumblers and stuff like that. It's going to be a good one-stop shop, and I have to get the number, so I'm not going to say the number, but I know that all AP Lazer owners are going to have a percentage off the web store automatically too. But look for that. That's coming out. That's getting ready to go live within the next very near future. I'm not going to say the next time frame because then I'm held to it. The very near future. I mean, we were trying to go last week, but we're kind of rolling it out, making sure that everything's working right so everything works smoothly for you guys. But there'll be lots of products there. If you have any other questions about products, you can shoot us about how to work on things and different materials and stuff. You can either reach out to our support team, or you can send us an email at aplazerlive@aplazer.com. Sorry to take that off on a side real quick, but I want to make sure I answered this question. Tanta says, I took my business from CO2 machines to laser cutting metals, and then the revenue came like a waterfall.
There you go.
I hear that time after time with our AP Lazer family members that they start working on this stuff, then before you know it, they have to add a worker, then they have to add another laser, and they keep going. But it's a lot of great stories in our family. Get on our AP Lazer Before You Buy group or a user group if you're already a family member, and these people share all their stories. Thank you, Gino, for sharing your story today. We wish you the best of luck of everything. And we'll be keeping an eye out for your next big project.
Yeah, so I'm excited to hear more about that storefront.
Yes.
That's super exciting.
Oh yeah, we're excited.
Yeah, and do you have any?
And we're excited to be part of the
Yeah,
family.
I'm glad we're glad to have you here. So, but do you have like any social media or anything that you'd like to plug so people can find your work and what you do?
Sure. Yeah. So we have our Instagram page is LULE_2023. That's Luli_2023.
Gotcha.
Our Facebook page is Level Up Laser Engraving. And that's the name of our company, Level Up Laser Engraving. We're located in South Texas, Corpus Christi, Texas. And I'd like also to send out a shout out to my beautiful wife, Kimberly, my son EJ and his beautiful wife, my daughter-in-law Victoria, our granddaughters Aritza and Natalia, our other sons Trino, Alexander, and Josh. You know, like I said, this is truly a family business. We're blessed to have stumbled across AP Lazer because it's truly been a family business for us, and being part of the family of AP Lazer has really helped us understand the business and grow our business. We're excited for the future.
Well, we're excited to see where you go.
We're happy to have you as part of the
Yes.
family, Gino. Thank you, everybody, for joining us again today. Please click that like button, and if you don't like it, at least click the subscribe button so you don't miss our next one. Maybe you'll like that one. Sorry if I got off to a rough start, but sometimes I get a little scatterbrained, and we got back on track, though, thanks to Alicia. We'll see you all next time.
I try.
We'll see you guys. All right, bye.